Today I'll be hiking the George and Rosemary Moore Trail through the Pleasant Valley Preserve, Jewett Preserve, Johnston Preserve, Eno Preserve, and the Mount Archer Woods. This is the second half of a two-part video. I'll put the link to part one in the description, along with a link to the Lyme Land Trust website. And here's the Lyme Land Trust map. In part one of this hike, we went through the Pleasant Valley Preserve, and then climbed up to the Jewett Preserve lookouts. Went back down over to the Johnston Preserve. Right there is where we are now at the highest point in Lyme, and this is the path we're going to be traveling. Jewett Preserve to the Eno Preserve, Mount Archer Woods, back to Jewett Preserve, winding around and heading back down to where we started. All right, back on the trail in the Johnston Preserve and on our way again. It's all downhill from here. As we leave the highest point in Lyme. If only that were true. It's not. I don't know, this sure feels like we're climbing up to a higher place than the higher place in Lyme. Check out that cool tree growing up out of the rocks. Oh, a little bit of a tough life. I love walking on these exposed boulder caps. I don't know what you officially call them, but that's what I call them. And now we've arrived at the Stonewall Gateway. I'm heading down this really cool valley with outcroppings on the one side that look far more impressive in person than on camera, but I'll show them to you anyway. I'm like in a funnel going down a hill. Neat. Uh-oh. Around or over, around or over. Well, the trail seems to go around, so I'll follow the puppy. I'm liking this really cool tree up ahead. All right, I'm going to climb right onto it because I can. It's a chair. There we go. Ta-da! Look at the puppo waiting for me. Like, get off that chair, Mom. All right, we're now connecting with the Fuchsia Trail, the perimeter trail of the Johnston Preserve, and we're going to take a left because we are heading back in the direction of the Jewett Preserve. Well, let's go down these rocks first because this is fun. Again, I am really loving the giant outcroppings of rocks everywhere, all these cliff edges. It's really cool out here. There's lots and lots of them. Some that look like salmon heads, some that look like smileys, and some that just look like giant piles of rocks. And winding around in between them. And I do believe we are now in Fractured Valley. There is a temporary rain puddle over here. I'm walking through a little bit of mud, but not bad. I don't hear any frogs though. They must be aware that this is going to dry up pretty soon. Frogs are smart. They know bad real estate when they see it. They don't want to croak. Look at this mess of rocks coming up here on the left. I officially named this a mess of rocks. I feel like I may have spent too long taking video and photos of the mess of rocks. Did I? Perhaps, but I'll reward you by bringing you to the shores of Joshua Creek. Look at this crazy dog found a tunnel. If I didn't have him on a leash, he'd be pulling me down a drain right now. That is a very pristine stone wall for the middle of the woods. All right, we're coming up on the Moore Trail again. Remember, we skirted off to do the Johnston bit, and now we're heading back into the Jewett Preserve over here on the right. And we're coming up on a famous tourist attraction. Up ahead on our left, Puzzle Rock. Let me see if I can take you down inside while still being somewhat graceful. Well, that wasn't very graceful, but ta-da! Oh, look at this little guy trying to get on top of this boulder. Going up? Yeah, it's a good boy. He's so proud of himself. So let me show you around Puzzle Rock here. If we go around the other side. So exciting. And this time, let me fly you up through it. Woo-hoo. Make sure you turn your ship sideways so you can fit through the tunnel. Ooh, almost bumped the edge. And now flying out and around again. Ooh, look at this on the ground. Remember all those acorns from last year I was tripping over? Because it was a masting year of nuts? They're growing. Hopefully you enjoyed that little artsy video of my doggie's feet. Coming up the hill from that boulder-ridden stream area, I actually could not video us crossing it because they were tree falls and I had to help Barsoom find a safe way through. But it was really fun. He looks happy enough. He's gonna sleep well tonight. Now that we sped up to the top of this outcropping, we get to walk along the ledge here and check out the view, which is pretty cool. Lots of boulders and outcroppings and stuff up here. I really love this portion of the Red Trail. And still in the Jewett Preserve. Oh, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. What a good boy. This really is a fun part of the trail. I'm really loving this area. Check it out. So much to see. And look all those up and downs ahead of us. Even so, easy hike. There's nothing complicated here. You can do it. More and more and more fun. Look at how happy he is. Look at him go. And now we're back down to the stream crossing with all the boulders, but this area actually doesn't have a stream. Must get routed underground here. We're just gonna walk right through it and back up the hill. So while this was officially part of the Moore Trail, a lot of people will skip this section even when they're doing the Jewett Preserve. Don't skip this little red loop over here because it's really fun. Although I admit, it's now time to pay our dues going back up this hill. With a backpack on, it's even more fun. He's not having any trouble at all. All right, I know that you may want to quit, but just hang on. Step up. Just a little bit further. Just past this stone wall. Made it. Haha, we did it! And we are nearing the end of this section of the Jewett Preserve. In a moment, we're going to cross the street to the Eno Preserve, and then we'll come back and finish in the Jewett Preserve. But first, let's enjoy this meadowside walk, which is in somebody's backyard, on the side of somebody's backyard. Look at this pretty little trail. Ta-da! Oh, and I have a surprise for you. I forgot. A very creepy surprise. What kind of a surprise were you expecting? And now crossing the street, as promised, into the Eno Preserve and the Mount Archer Woods. Follow me! It has poured a lot here in this past week, so as I mentioned when going over the map in part 1, we're going to avoid the right trail up ahead that goes down toward Pickwick Preserve and then back up again because it is flooded out. Which reminds me, I will put a link to my journey through the Pickwick Preserve in the description so you can see that corner. In the meantime, check out this enormous tree. If you can't realize how big this tree is in video, see the tree next to it to the right? That's like a normal giant tree. So this one to the left is like a ginormous let's walk around it tree. It's like 6 times as big as your biggest tree in your yard. Like I have to plan like a week of vacation just to get around it. This thing is huge. One of the things I really enjoy about this section of trail, the Mount Archer Woods Eno Preserve, are the number of stone walls we'll be walking through. And uh-oh. We made it through, but you can see how the flooding took out that plank walk. Even so, barely got our feet wet. And look, another stone wall crossing. I told you, one of the best parts. And if you turn over to your right on this tour, you will see the Pickwick's Preserve. But it's flooded and I'm not going that way. Let's continue through the Mount Archer Woods. Do I even need to say it? Stonewall Crossing. Woohoo! Look at how wide open it is. The underbrush hasn't come in yet. So we can easily see another Stonewall Crossing. One of my favorite things. Look at the view. In just a few more weeks, you won't be able to see this at all. And now we've made it to the ruins, which is a really cool area of this trail. It's like a nice surprise waiting at the end. Unless you start at the other end of Mount Archer Woods and then it's a nice surprise at the beginning. What am I even talking about? Let's explore. You will definitely see maple syrup lines out here. All through here, like laser beams. Let's go up these stairs right here and have a look at the old cabin, shall we? It's really cool though. As you can see, the parlor is in the back of the house. And over here to our left is the sitting room. It's like spin you around my house. Oh, I feel a little nauseous. But I want you to see it all. Check out this pile of rocks right here. This is the wine cellar. Oh, let's check out this land bridge right here. Just step really careful and check your footing. Make sure rocks don't shift. And we're out and on our way again. Really fun. But the good times are not over yet, because you see what I see? Another Stonewall Crossing. If you don't find these things fun, you probably shouldn't be hiking with me. Check out this high strangeness. It's like a moth mom cocoon. Okay, we've made it to the other end of the Mount Archer Woods, so it is time to cross the road. I think we have to go down the street a tiny bit, but not very far, to get back into the Jewett Preserve. Yep, a little bit of a road walk here. And then we're coming up on the Jewett Preserve on the left. It's clearly marked, you won't miss it. And you get to begin by going through a stone wall crossing. In case you thought they were over, they're not. And check out this stream. Ooh, look at the tunnel under this tree. What do we find when we look under the legs of a tree? Nuts. We're hiking up a really cool saddle spot. And the really interesting thing about this is up on the right, on the top of this ridge crest, there's like a stone wall on top of it. I'll try to get a better view from the top. But it's a weird place to have a stone wall, like at the end of a cliff. Maybe it's so in the olden days, the days of yore, the sheep didn't fall off the edge of the cliff. I don't know. I'll try to get a shot of it in just a minute. Now that we're at the top, looking back real quick. Okay, there it is. Do you see it there? That is a stone wall right there, right at the edge of that ridgeline cliff. That is so weird. All right, well, let's continue on because there should be a lookout point up here ahead. And there it is. Ta-da! Check out this little bench. Now, don't fall off the edge. There's no stone wall here. Hitting another tourist attraction and going through Split Rock. Ending our hike today with a really good stream walk, a bridge, and now the field. And this is originally where we came in on that edge of the meadow down there. We're going to go straight through. If you'd like, you can stop at this bench and take a rest. And there we have it, back where we started. This is where we went out in part 1 of this video. And just like that, back at the entrance again. Just be careful walking over these roots because you're on a pretty steep hill and it would be a bad way to end the hike. The duck car. Oh wait, let me check out what this is over here, a little trail. A quick little path to the 8 Mile River. But I have never been down here before. Let's check this out. Puppy will help us. Look how pretty this is. It seems to go on a little bit further. Okay, now we can say it. The duck car.